Tracey Hill.
Hello.
Founder of The Pause Effect, hypnotherapist and performance coach to CEOs, elite athletes and high net worth individuals.
Correct.
When someone says they don't have time, what's actually going on underneath, and why is it that high achievers resist pausing?
So I think why high achievers resist pausing, I'll start with that, is that they don't know how to. It's an uncomfortable place to be in. And I've met so many high achievers, actually everybody that's like, I can meditate for like 1 or 2 minutes, but after that, oh my God, these thoughts are coming up. Well, of course they are, but you don't pause long enough to hear them because you don't want to go there. Because the minute you pause, what you're meant to hear or feel in your body rises, but people deflect from that. 90% of humanity reacts, fight, flight, all the time. Of course, because they were programmed in that way to do that. But when you pause, you get to reflect, see things from a different perspective.
If pausing is so painful, how do I pause properly?
It could be a micro pause. There you go. Maybe an argument that many couples have about how their eggs are cooked, right? If it's a hard yolk, runny yolk, whatever that is, on a Sunday morning, and he was like, he said, my wife, she cooked my egg. And I'm like, hang on, can we just pause for a second? Reflect. She cooked your egg, but it was a little bit overdone. So you reacted to that. And that reaction caused a domino effect of not speaking for the entire day. But if you'd have just paused for a second before reacting and said, do you know what? She's cooked my egg. I'm lucky. I've got a good wife that will do that for me. Or husband, either way. The yolk doesn't really matter. I think we spend a lot of time reacting to certain situations and giving our power away, whether it's losing control or even just not doing anything, which allows you to respond differently, which allows you to get better results. I was working with a group of investment bankers, and they were showing me all the data that they had of how they make decisions on this Excel spreadsheet, right? I was like, wow, that is impressive. I said, but you're missing one fundamental key piece of data. I'm like, what's that? I said, how did you feel when you made that decision to invest or not? Was it fear of missing out? Was it that, I don't know, you felt pressured to? Once you understand how you feel before you make a decision, that's insightful data. But you need to pause to feel that.
What's one small thing, one way that I can just be present, like a beginner's guide, a dummy's guide to being present?
Just sit, close your eyes, put your phone away, nothing. And if that's difficult to do, then you're missing life. If you cannot be present, you're missing so much.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Like life is too short, okay? And this morning, you woke up, lucky you. You got to open your eyes this morning. A lot of people didn't. Did you take a moment just to reflect on that for a second? No, you just do it like it's, brushing teeth like that. Yeah. Wow. Like, just be present for those moments, to feel that heart in their beat.
With being present, and you talk to CEOs and elite athletes, what's the one pattern that you see amongst all of them behind the closed doors?
Self-doubt, lack of self-love, self-sabotage, low self-esteem.
Where does it come from?
All from childhood. We are programmed between the ages of 0 and 7 years old. The doubt will come from certain scenes, events and beliefs that have been formed in between that time. And that will carry all the way through to adulthood. But once we understand this operating system, we can start breaking the patterns. We then truly start to understand who we are, who we really are, not who we perform. We get to be. And I think without pausing, we're doing a lot of doing and not a lot of being.
I don't know if I'd want to find out who I am. Actually, it sounds scary.
How mad is that? How sad is that? And this is what breaks my heart, right? Is that everyone deflects from going there. But the minute you fight that resistance and you start to truly understand who you are, without anything else, what your values are, what your passions are, who you are deep down in your soul, your entire life will change. Your whole outlook on life will change. In what you do, who you show up in the world as. Everything, even your energy, will completely change. And then what you go on to do will also change, because you're free to be who you want. And actually 80%, probably more than that, 85% of people throughout their entire lifetime will never understand who they are. And it's such a shame.
Someone that's, I guess, feeling trapped but doesn't quite know why.
Yeah.
What's the first thing that they can ask themselves to try and discover that?
Well, I think it's, you feel trapped because... And then what do they answer? So, for example, I was 19 years old in my ground floor apartment. I just got off the phone from my mum. I'd just come out of the bath, and it was about 10 o'clock at night. All the lights went out and I thought I'd had a power cut. TV went off and I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go to bed. Within seconds, the back door smashed in that was in my living room, and I had a gun to my head. That's being trapped. And in that moment of pause for me, because even though it went so quick, in that moment of pause, I thought, I feel trapped because I'm being held hostage with a gun against my head, right? In that moment of pause, I didn't react. Most would scream, fight. I didn't at all. What unfolded, worked, happened. He was put into prison for many, many years. But if I hadn't have paused, let me tell you now, I would not be sat here in front of you today. And I know that because the people that didn't pause before me lost their life.
What happens next? You escape.
I left school with okay grades. I had GCSEs, the basics of GCSEs, really. I've seen the pits of hell, so I sort of have no fear. I'm pretty fearless in life, which meant that I was always going to push boundaries to what was possible. I went and worked for some of the, and consulted for some of the best companies in the world, right? Made a shit ton of money, bought houses, travelled everywhere, did whatever I wanted to do because I had something to prove. I'd put all my family through so much from such a young age that I had this element of guilt and shame, and that I wasn't good enough because I was told for so many years by these people that I was nothing. In this noise of life, I completely lost who I was. I had no fucking clue. And then I realised actually that none of it mattered. The money didn't matter. I was stressed. I was burnt out. I wasn't truly living. And I couldn't truly live because actually I didn't know who I was. I was a hurt little girl still, and I'd locked her in Pandora's box, never to be opened again, because I didn't want anyone to see the real me.
So when you were high-flying in your corporate career, big clients,
Yeah.
big contracts, was there a part of you that doubted if you were good enough then?
Oh my God, all the time. And you know what? And I was the highest earner there. I started on the lowest wage, and within the first year, I was the highest earner. I think we overcomplicate sales sometimes. Like, They have a pain. What is that? And I need to be able to fix that pain. And if I can do that, I'm going to win, right? Whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
Or be remembered. Anyway, but did I have doubt? Of course I had doubt, because I didn't ever want them to see who Tracey truly was.
You're balancing your corporate career and a young child at the same time.
I was, and then I left it all. Obviously, I couldn't leave my child. She was only one. Yeah, I left it all and lost it all in the pursuit of myself. And then rebuilt. Well, yeah, when I say to people like, yeah, I lost like 200 grand, probably more than that. Like, how sad is that? We get one chance on this earth, one. And I want to live it my way.
Knowing what you have gone through and what you know now, if you put yourself in the shoes of 24-year-old you or any other 20-odd-year-old, what do you wish you'd been told then?
I'm trying to teach my daughter now about what life is and what life isn't. Don't be afraid to feel. Feelings are good. And never stop creating. Never stop being curious. If you've got the maddest idea ever and you're creating from a place of love, go for it. Whether you think it's going to make money or not, who gives a shit? Go for it.
Tracey, we have a closing tradition on this podcast, which is where the guest, regardless of who they are, answers this one question. And that is, what's one message that you've never sent but you wish everyone would receive?
Send messages of support. Like, we're a nation that's so disconnected, and all we have is each other. Whether we have the same values or, you know, whether we agree on the same things politically or in life, who gives a shit? None of it matters. Whatever situation you're in, whatever you're going through, whatever your next move might be, if it feels good, do it. Don't listen to your head, your brain will sabotage you at every turn. If it feels good, trust yourself with everything you've got and move.
That was beautifully put. Tracey, thank you for trusting me and everyone listening with your story. I think words actually escape me as to this conversation and the profound impact that's had not only on me, but I hope for everyone else as well. And I just really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been fantastic.
Thank you very much, David.